I'm Daniel.
I'm Justin.
And you're watching Gear65, Tech65's gadget review video show. And today we are taking a look at the HTC
Tattoo.
Yeah. So this is the HTC Tattoo. This is HTC's budget Android phone. And by budget we mean,
really cheap.
598 Singapore dollars without
contract.
So with contract, I don't know.
With contract, I would be guessing about 298. About $298 to $300.
Yeah. So basically, they're trying to use this phone to target, to get average consumers who don't really buy smartphones very often to get into Android, right? So let's take a look at the hardware itself first. Okay, so you have here a screen, a really small screen. What's the dimensions for the screen?
The dimensions for the screen is 240
by
320, which is a QVGA.
QVGA, so it's kind of a very low resolution.
It's, compared to the Hero, it's a really low resolution, but in order to reduce the price.
Yeah, and because the screen is so small, right, it's not a capacitive screen, this is a resistive screen. In English, this means that it's not the kind of sliding kind of screen.
Where you need to use your finger and actually press.
And you can use a stylus to tick as well. Yeah. And what's the inches specifically?
The dimensions are
2.8 inch. Yeah. 2.8 inch TFT display. Okay. So the front here, the controls are very typical Hero and Magic kind of controls.
One of the differences is that this is not a ball anymore. It's actually a navigation control, four-way navigation control.
So four-way, if you click on the ring, it's four-way. The center is the enter button.
Yes, that's right.
Right? And then over here you have the back button, the search button, the usual Android buttons are the menu and the home, right? Call, hang up. On top here, this is a 3.5mm jack, which is really good.
And you will continue to see this kind of a 3.5mm jack for all HTC future phones.
Yes, as promised by HTC. And here you can put your lanyard thingamajig here.
Yep.
Camera, which is actually a 3.2 megapixel camera, so
which isn't really that really high res at all. Actually,
is it? Even though it's 3.2?
No, it's really not that good, but then again, taking in point, this is a consumer cheap phone.
Yeah, so it's actually, but 3.2 sounds pretty impressive to me. Actually, I don't know. My iPhone's only 3.0. So for the rest of the design, this is basically a plastic casing. The whole faceplate is changeable. You can change like both the front, the back, and everything. You can basically replace everything. You can go and find a lot of designs out there. You can even print your own designs online.
And you can I think you can
print designs online. There's a website you can go to and you can print them online for cost, and then they'll send it to you. The microphone is over here. This is the HTC extended USB port. Like we always say, it may be extended USB port, but you can fit any normal mini USB cable inside here as well. So basically, I think that's pretty much a volume control, right? Volume control. Yeah, plastic casing, like we say, completely replaceable faceplates. Right, you can even the front part you can remove it and change it to something else. Yeah. So let's talk about the hardware, the specs.
So the hardware specs is exactly the same as the Magic and the Hero, and what you get, which is pretty surprising, which is
which is good. It's a good thing, right?
Yeah. So it's exactly the Qualcomm 528 megahertz CPU, and the memory is exactly the same too. It's 512 meg ROM and 256 meg RAM. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much what you get with the Hero and Magic.
Yep, and it will come on sale with Android 1.6 version 1.6. This thing has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so it's actually GPS as well.
Yeah.
So even though it's a low-end camera, that you find most of the things that you'll be able to do with normal Android phones, you will do it with this one as well. And then you have your G sensor as well, the accelerometer sensor.
It actually
FM radio.
It has an FM radio and a digital compass. But the thing is, the digital compass requires a third-party software. You can't really just use the compass there isn't any application that uses the compass right now.
Okay.
As you can see over here in the screen, right, the resolution is really not really that great, and the response isn't that good. But keeping in mind, this is a resistive screen.
Yep.
And this is for the budget phone.
And one thing you need to know is that actually HTC is pretty good at making resistive screens, even because if you take a look, all their Windows mobile phones are actually using resistive screens as well. And despite the fact that it is resistive, it kind of responds pretty well. You don't have to press too hard for the screen to respond. And plus, you must remember this is an Android with a pretty relatively powerful processor, the same processor you find on it. So it's kind of smooth. The only disadvantage, of course, is the screen resolution. Yeah, so that's one of the things.
And you get all the full features of the whole HTC Sense, as you can take a look at here. Whatever you get from the Hero HTC Sense, you get exactly the same experience, except with the 1.6 Android.
Yeah, so basically it means that it's a fully customizable HTC customized UI. So you have basically your wall clock. You can see the sliding bar thing that you usually find on a Windows mobile phone, HTC Windows mobile phone, and then there's all the Twitter application, the Facebook application. Does it come with a Facebook application?
No, it doesn't come.
But you can download it.
But you can download it from the marketplace.
Yeah, and it does sync with Facebook, right, in terms of the address book.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so this is it's basically a full-fledged Sense HTC Sense device, which is pretty good. In other words, instead of just normal 3 panels, you have actually 5 panels altogether, and the widgets are really a lot more. You can take a look, right?
7 panels.
Seven panels.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. 7 panels. Yeah, and there really are a lot of things you see. I can take the weather, for example, right? And you can choose a different kind of widgets you want to have. So let's pick the humongous one. Oh, there's no more room for this humongous one. You can small one and even smaller.
But it's pretty much what you can find with the HTC Hero, and it's everything that you need from or rather have on the HTC Hero. This phone has.
Yeah. So in other words, it's a very powerful device for its price.
Yes, I agree with you. And the only drawback I would say is the screen size, the resolution, and the resistive screen. But then again, if you need all of that, then you should just get the Hero.
Yeah. So for a person who hear this display, let me see whether I can pump the display's brightness up so that you can actually see this a bit more. Right. So hopefully this is better. So basically, for a person who actually you just want to have a good smartphone, right? This is actually a good choice because it's relatively cheap.
Yes.
Yeah, and yes,
affordable.
it's not as it's pretty much it's quite responsive actually. So if you can see, you don't actually find it lagging up much, and don't forget Android actually does multitasking as well. So yeah, other than the display and the resistive screen, the low resolution display, are there any other major drawbacks that you actually see that will actually turn people away from this?
No, not really. I think the really plus point is the interchangeable and customizable casing that you really can just change and really make it yours.
Yeah. So, alright. That's pretty much it we have to say about this particular phone then. So that was the HTC Tattoo, which is a pretty budget but yet relatively powerful device by Android device by HTC. And so by the way, because it's Android 1.6, so there is a new updated marketplace basically for the App Store. The App Store thing.
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Yeah, so you just want to take note of that. So some new stuff on the HTC Tattoo. So if you have any questions, you can email us gear65@tech65.org, or you can check out all our previous episodes for Gear65 as well as 65bits and digress cast at www.tech65.org. So that's it for this episode with the HTC Tattoo. I'm Daniel.
I'm Justin.
We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.